Hello everybody, Ryan from Jedi Dropouts here. Just a quick note before we get into the interview. Because of busy schedules, varying locations, and the variety of crowd sizes over this past weekend, the audio quality in these Atlanticon interviews is not quite up to our usual standard. And beyond that, the quality between interviews will fluctuate a little bit as well. That being said, I truly love how these interviews came out, and I once again would like to thank each and every one of our wonderful guests for appearing on the show. Okay, I've said my little piece. Let's get on to the interview already. Hello and welcome to Jedi Dropouts. I'm your host, Ryan Taylor, and I'm here live at Atlanticon 7 in Corner Brook, Newfoundland. And I'm here with a special guest, Lily Hunter.
Hello, how's it going?
It's great. Thanks for being on the show here today.
Thanks for having me.
Lucky to find you. I almost didn't recognize you. You have many faces.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
I'm glad we managed to get a cosplay guest on the show because this is actually the first time we've ever talked about cosplay on the podcast.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Like me and James, the regular co-hosts of Jedi Dropouts, we know very little about cosplay. So for not just for the people at home, but for myself, and James, why don't you just tell us a little bit about the world of cosplay and what it's all about?
Perfect. So cosplay is a combination of the words costume and play. And it's taken, the world by storm in recent years.
Absolutely.
I've been dressing up since I was, wee high for Halloween, and would dress up, all the time, and that's just kind of what I do.
Yeah.
And then back in 2013, I attended my first convention and dressed up, and that's when I heard that it's actually called cosplay. And that there's a lot of people like myself who like dressing up whenever you can, and so it's primarily people dress up at conventions. I also dress up and do like any volunteer stuff with Sci-Fi on the Rock, the convention out in St. John's, and I also do photo shoots and things like that. And you basically just get to dress up. Cosplay, you mainly, you can dress up as characters from video games, TV shows, original characters, kind of anything you want, really.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And for you guys listening at home now, you can't see, she's in full cosplay attire right now. What's the character's name?
So I'm dressed up as Mad Moxie from Borderlands 2. She was one of the very first characters that I cosplayed, and is one of my personal favorites because...
This is an excellent costume.
Well, she resonates with me a little bit. Borderlands is one of my favorite video game series.
I've tried it and I'm terrible at it.
It takes a little getting used to.
We definitely have some listeners who are huge Borderlands fans.
Oh yeah.
And go check out pictures. You can.
So I've got my Facebook page is Lily Hunter Cosplay.
Yep.
And then I've also got my Instagram is the same handle, Lily Hunter Cosplay, just with dots in between the words there.
Yes. You got all over the social media. You have to be these days.
You have to. It's how you get out there, and I'm pretty tight knit with the community in St. John's.
Yes.
But just getting yourself out. This is the first time I've been at Atlanticon.
Yeah.
So I was very excited to be invited out here for the first time.
This is my first time as well. It's my first time at any sort of convention, so I'm kind of still taking it all in. What you just said about community, that is something I want to talk about. Of course, with nerd culture in general, there's a lot of community, but it seems like the cosplay community is like a whole different level.
It's insane, is the best way for me to put it. I'm very fortunate that there is such a huge, such a large amount of cosplayers in St. John's. We have there's a number of different Facebook pages where if you have a question about a costume, you can reach out. Like Newfoundland Cosplayers is one of the Facebook groups. And it's just such a friendly community too. It can be hard being a cosplayer online. You get a lot of flack.
Of course,
with every followers that are really nice, you get the followers who are critique you no matter what you do. So it's hard. The online can be cold and distant naturally.
Well, general rule of thumb with the internet is just never read the comments.
Take it with a grain of salt. Never read the comments. Oddly, most of the comments I get are in Spanish.
Yeah. We actually after the con last night we live streamed an episode on Twitch and we managed to get trolled doing a podcast.
Oh yeah, no, it happens. Like,
yeah.
take everything on the internet with a grain of salt. But if you can find a community like, Newfoundland has a huge cosplay community.
Yeah.
And I do my best to help other fledgling cosplayers out.
Of course, yeah.
So before any conventions in St. John's, we usually have workshops, and I will show up and just work on my own stuff, and people will come over and be like, "Hey, can you help me with this?" Or I primarily work with Warblow, which is a thermoplastic, and I'm currently the only one in St. John's who really works with it almost exclusively. Like, I do a lot. So I have a lot of people who I'm just like, "Hey, I've got a workshop in my basement. Come on by." They're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, no." I was like, "Come on over. I'll help out."
And that's something that I think a lot of people miss about cosplay. Like, you have to look the part. You are dressing up in a costume, but it's more than just Halloween, because the actual creation of the costume is like a completely different venture that you have to work on and get your skills at, right?
Well, and that's the thing, is that different cosplayers can focus on different things. I mean, there are the people who are well-rounded and can do everything flawlessly. Yeah. I'm not at that level yet.
Okay.
I mainly, so I kind of focus more on armor creation, like I mentioned, using thermoplastic. And anything that's textile, like my Mad Moxie outfit I'm currently wearing, I usually have, friends help me come up with patterning, because fabric and me don't get along as well. I'm still learning. But, when you have a community of nice people, you can have a friend come over and help you. And just bounce ideas off of each other. That's a big thing too. But it's a really friendly. There are people who, just don't be afraid to reach out. Is the big thing.
No, absolutely. I don't think I'll ever be a cosplayer. I was never one for Halloween either. I don't know why. I just being in a costume was never personally for me. But I love looking at cosplay. It's just it's fascinating. It is amazing. I love it.
It's part of the reason that I love doing it is I don't. So I've been judging costume contests for the past little bit now, because I was never really one for entering in them.
Okay.
Because I'm super nitpicky about my work. Like, there's what's known as the 5-foot rule in cosplay, where when you're standing in front of the mirror, you pick out all of the flaws. But if you take 5 steps back and look at it how most people will look at it, you're like, okay, this actually looks good.
I could use that.
So it's just take 5 steps back, take a deep breath, and look.
Yeah.
But it's important to I took a step back from entering in costume contests so that I could, judge and just get to see all of the amazing things. Like, it's still early here on day 2, and there's a lot of really, really cool cosplay showing up.
And that's the thing, where I'm new to the con, I stupidly, I guess, last night I was like, well, okay, this is what we're getting, cool. And then this morning I show up and some of the cosplay just like that were here before I got here at 8:30, and I was like, wow, I'm already seeing full suits of armor and stuff.
Well, this is when we get to shine, because a lot of us who do cosplay, I have a workshop in my basement, and I'll be puttering around my house wearing costumes, but I don't really wear them out much apart from photo shoots. No. So conventions are great because you get to meet all of your fellow nerd family. Network, so meet other, I've met other few cosplayers, and we've exchanged tips and tricks, and you get to just see everything, and it's so cool.
It's great. Now you're debuting a new
I'll be
this episode won't be up until after the con.
Okay,
if you want to reveal it, if you want to give us a sneak peek here.
What I'm debuting is kind of a barbarian. So a lot of cosplayers will, like what I'm doing today, take straight from the video game and do as accurate as possible. I really enjoy doing original characters. So, because I draw, I sketch up artwork, in terms of armor that I want to make, and then I do my best to, come up with my own characters. And it's a lot of fun. I've been a long-time D&D player, so getting to make characters from scratch just is really cool. So I'll be rocking just kind of my own rendition of a barbarian, wraps in lots of furs, and I've got a massive massive sword about as tall as I am.
Yeah, like anime levels.
Oh, anime level sword that like I can carry it all over my shoulder, but it's like, ooh, it's quite heavy. But so that'll be debuting. It's kind of a ramp up to the one costume contest that I enter in is the Mardi Gras costume contest in St. John's. So I won last year, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you. With my Demon Hunter from World of Warcraft. I did a concept art.
Nice.
And so I'm entering like a ramped up kind of orc barbarian. This is a human barbarian that I'm doing tomorrow. Yeah. But an orc barbarian is what I'm breaking out for that costume contest. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So it should be fun. Excited. Figured I'd do a test run here.
That's a good place to test it.
Yeah.
One last thing we're going to leave this on. Now, the main thing we like to do on this podcast is geek out and give people a place to geek out and just let their freak flags fly.
Yeah.
So, if all budgets and realistic constraints aside, if you could cosplay as any character from any franchise, I mean, obviously it's difficult. Sometimes you might have an idea, but like making it work would be hard. If you could do anything, what would it be?
If I could do anything, that is the hardest question to ask because I actually have a folder on my phone of like cosplays I want to do, like 120 different characters. But on my like bucket list of dream costumes, oh gosh, I would love to get into some like World of Warcraft, the armor designs in that game are just Diablo. I really want to do like a Diablo wizard.
Oh yeah, you're speaking to the
so I want to do like a Diablo wizard. I want to. I think my ultimate. I will do it eventually. Gypsy Danger from Pacific Rim.
Oh yes, yes.
I want to. My friends at Foamworks Cosplay, they do big builds.
Yeah, I've seen their stuff.
So
shout out to Foamworks Cosplay.
Yeah. So I've worked with them a few times. They're like great guys. But I would love to do a Gypsy Danger just because it's out of my comfort zone in terms of I mainly do like form-fitting armor. It's just something big and badass.
That would be awesome.
Love to do.
I love that movie.
Oh yeah,
I love Del Toro stuff too. Right?
I mean, well, and that's the thing is I would also really like to do like Pan from Pan's Labyrinth.
Yes.
I've had friends who've done like Hellboy, but a femme version of Hellboy.
Hellboy is possibly my favorite superhero of all time.
I do. Right? I just love the snarky, cigar smoking, loves cats.
Yeah. You almost you need to partner with someone, get Abe Sapien in there as well.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'd love to. That's the thing is I could talk for hours about the different costumes that I want to do.
Yeah.
But
this is a rabbit hole we can go down
so
here.
those are kind of on my.
Yeah.
But my dream bucket list and my not so distant future bucket list, I really want to do a satyr. So actually have heelless shoes like hooves. I did that for my Demon Hunter, and
nice.
that was difficult. Stilts, but fun.
But worth it.
Oh yeah. So it's lots of plans and dreams. Just gotta work at it and make it come true.
Just keep going, right? Yeah. And it seems like it's paying off.
Oh yeah. No, it's get to meet other nerdy folk like yourselves, which I love. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And not just within our own specific subgroup communities, but us as nerds, and especially nerds in Newfoundland, we got to stick together.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So thank you very much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it so much. You want to plug your social media again?
Yeah, so I can be found on my Facebook page, which is Lily Hunter Cosplay, and then also on my Instagram, so that's Lily Hunter Cosplay, but lily.hunter.cosplay. Yeah, perfect.
And I think I forgot to plug my own stuff.
There you go. I want to do that too.
If you like what you heard here today, you can check out other episodes of Jedi Dropouts, our other coverage of Atlanticon 7, and any other podcast ideas just pop into my head because I do a lot of random one-off stuff over at www.jedidropouts.podbean.com, on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, all the podcast apps. And thanks for listening. Thanks for dropping in.
Thanks for having me.
This has been a Jedi Dropouts production.